Then it dawned on me, that it wasn't him I was in love with. It was what part of me was missing, to actually have the ability to communicate to people on that level, without my internal hesitation, like me, myself, creating these invisible walls for whatever reason, and not like expressing myself in that way that my first love did. That I wish I had. But it wasn't until leaving that relationship where I actually took that step to learn that for myself. And then in turn loving me more. Not him. So a lot of the times, until you're whole, I think that's when you fall in love. Just have a real good look at yourself. Like there's no area of your personality you're missing or lacking. It's not really the person you're in love with. Like, is it something that you really, 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 really love about that person? And just maybe check with yourself that, are you missing that element in yourself? Because if you're not, then you're in love with that person. But if you are, it might be that you're trying to hold on to of that person, or of why you're not letting them go. A lot of the time, I think we mislabel things, based on like movies we've watched, or even like repetitions of loved ones that have gone through the same kind of like holding on to relationships. They want to have that part, their own self, basically what they're missing themselves, but they're not willing to practice or do the work to learn that. It's time for you to practice and acquire that ability that you admired or envied for so long in your partner. And like, okay, let's say if you had to do your ABCs for like 10 years and teach the ABCs over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, all the way to Z, like every single day, every single hour for like years, even like a decade, could you do it? Do you want to do it? The answer is no. It's just like the other person. Like they can only teach for so long. By that time, they're just tired. They just want to move on. And a lot of the times they're like, okay, just fire me or I quit, kind of thing in that relationship. So, when an employee leaves an organization, you don't go running after them. No. You keep your own dignity and the dignity of the company intact without running after them. So do the same thing with relationships. Let them go. It's time for you to practice and acquire that ability that you admired or envied for so long in your partner. It's time. That's pretty much what every end of every relationship is all about. It's just, it says, okay, it's time for you to do the work now. It's time for you to teach yourself. It's time for you to practice. It's time for you to, mind you, if the person does something really like wrong, you zero want to do those things. So if you envy or admire like wrong things, I'd strongly like go against that. Practicing or learning or teaching yourself those things. I say no. Anyhow, yeah, so that's my thought on relationships. It was just the one relationship for me, I'll be honest. That was a major one for me. And I couldn't understand why, and I wouldn't let go. But finally, when I was true to myself, like basically the word true, let me replace it because there's a similar word, honest, when I was honest with myself, that's when I realized it wasn't like, it wasn't the physical body I was admiring, or the thought, or what have you. It was just like a behavior that I wanted to embrace and exude myself. Basically, I wanted to talk to the world, and I couldn't. For whatever self-limitations I put on myself. For no reason at all. Those are the invisible walls I created, right? The depression and anxiety, I'm sure I have an answer for, which will be in another later video at some point. I mean, again, I can't do too many of these videos because I do go through a lot of pause, like a lot of breaks in between, because like if you're expecting videos like every single day or once a week, I'm telling you right now, that's not possible for me, because there'll be times where I'll just go through like breaks that can be like this long, this long, this long, or just really long, and then I'll jump back in. So you know, I'm still going through self-discovery. I feel like I'm bored now, so maybe I've maximized self-discovery. Who knows? I have no idea still. But yeah, I thought I'd share this with you because, you know, a lot of the times I say things, I'll just put it on YouTube and whatever, let it out of my system and out, just out to the world. I'm just trying to let it leave my system, because I mean, it's just something that I've learned and I am learning.
Subscribe.